Hi, my name is Adriana, and today me and my dad are going to be talking about The Last Oracle by James Rollins. And then it does do, 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 do. Alright, so this is the video where you find out I'm actually a nepo baby. You are a actor on IMDb.
No. No,
I'm gonna put it up here. You can see it.
not at all.
This book, The Last Oracle, all of these books always have a historical element and a science element. And the historical element of this one, like a lot of them seems to be, is Nazis. James Rollins loves him some Nazis.
Yeah. But I like the Roman part of it, going back to
Yeah.
pre-Roman Last Oracle.
Yeah, so the other part of it is also like Oracle of Delphi. So the kind of destruction of Greek society by the Romans. Obviously, when the Romans became Christians, they destroyed everything not Christian. And that included the ancient Greek pagan religion. So that's where the last oracle comes from. And then the science part of this one is a very soft science. I don't even know if you could really call it a science.
Yeah, because it is not really proven, but it is sort of out there that people can see things that other people can't.
Yeah. So it's based on, when was this one written? I think like 2008. So around that time, people were starting to do a lot more research into the autism spectrum. And I think that's what kind of really started his interest in this kind of autistic savant that was really popular there in like the late 2000s with stuff like Rain Man and like kind of that savant thing, which has been pretty disproven that that's not really how people on the spectrum work.
Yeah, except he's got a list of people throughout history
that were probably
autistic.
On the spectrum somewhere, which makes sense.
Yeah, Beethoven,
yeah.
Edison, Ford, Kafka, Mozart, Nietzsche, Tesla, Turing. Yeah, it's very interesting.
The quote from Dr. Temple Grandin that he used a couple times in the book, and that is, "If by some magic autism had been eradicated from the face of the earth, then men would still be socializing in front of a wood fire at the entrance to a cave." So, I mean, overall, I think his portrayal of autism, he did the best he could with the information he had at the time. There was not very good at research out on autism at the time.
And there's still not.
There's still not. And like, I've mentioned this like a couple times on the channel, but like there is someone like I know in my life on the spectrum, so I'm always very critical of reading books that include that kind of representation.
Yeah.
And I think that's just because like we have a little more experience than I think the normal person does.
I gotta say the book had a slow start.
Yeah.
It's not one of my favorites. I had a hard time getting into it. Once you get into the meat of it and the chase scene through the swamp,
yeah,
it started being fun and back to what my normal Rollins experience is.
And I do kind of experience that like with all of his books. Like the first half of all of the books are kind of not a slog necessarily, but it's a lot of heavy information right at the start. Well, so it usually takes me like a week to read the first half and then like 2 days to read the second half. Like, it's just, he has, like, again, all of the dense history, science,
right.
Learning, like, all of the players in this game. Because every book introduces a new bad guy, typically. And he does write the best bad guys.
Not in this book.
You don't like her?
Her?
The gal who ran the children's thing, who was doing the research?
Well, yeah.
She was a great bad guy.
Yeah, she's a good bad guy.
Yeah.
She's the classic Nazi bad guy.
Yeah.
I was thinking the government agent.
The government agent. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
there's kind of two bad guys.
Way over the top. Where he came from.
I do kind of love his he does write a great over-the-top villain, though. Like, I think about, like, Kingdom of Bones, like the Elon Musk type billionaire bad guy.
Yeah.
He writes a great, I love James Rollins bad guys. But yeah, I think we both agree that this is probably our least favorite of at least the first 5. I don't really remember the rest of these, but I mean...
Still good, but
it's still fun, and I would still, like... I still had a good time reading it, but it's the lowest one I've rated. I gave this 3.75 out of 5 stars, and the other ones have been like 4 or 5 stars.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I still couldn't quite go as far as like give it a regular 3 because it's still James Rollins. It's still a cut above the rest.
Yeah, enjoyed the part of Monk not knowing who he was, but knowing what to do.
Oh, right. Yeah, the whole entire cliffhanger of the last book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Where he went.
Yeah, the last book ended with he always loses his hand every book.
Which he lost it again, yeah.
So at the end of the last book, the hand was starting to make signals, and you do get the answer to that in this one. Before they took his memory away, he was fidgeting with trying to get the hand to work. So in the end of the last book, that was in fact a real signal from Monk. And then in this book, yeah, him finding his way back and kind of, I guess, having instinct of what to do.
Yeah.
Or training. I get probably more training than instinct, but
yeah, and the kid's relying on him to save him.
Yeah.
Spoiler, but he does.
He does. The good guys win. I think, yeah, like the overall bad guy plan of this book, I think was also my least favorite of the bad guy plans we've had so far. Because to just irradiate the world and then expect to like, although I guess that's a lot of them are like, I'm going to release a plague that like destroys humanity. But a lot of those ones, it's like they just want to destroy humanity because they think they want to save the earth itself, or they want to do something like weird.
Yeah,
but this
one's a little weak.
She was going to irradiate the planet so she could take it over. But like, how are you going to have power in a society that doesn't exist?
Yeah.
I wish I would have brought you in for one that we enjoyed a little bit more. But I didn't know I wasn't going to like it until I read it.
Well, you got to do something with a irradiated lake, I guess. Got the world's worst lake.
Just like the entire lake itself is just irradiated mass.
Yeah, it does make a good bad guy story. Do something that will kill you within an hour of just having lunch there. Yeah.
Were you aware of like the new sarcophagus for Chernobyl when that was going over? Was that like something that was like kind of a big cultural
that was
moment?
Oh, that was a big thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the biggest moving construction project in the world at the time. Okay. The biggest thing ever moved.
Yeah. I don't really remember that, but I was like 13 and not really paying attention to the global news.
Talk to Uncle Steve about it.
Yeah.
He was there many times.
Yes.
No, so that part was cool. I remember all that. That was, covering all that up was a big thing because otherwise it was just going to be
worse and worse.
Worse and worse and worse. So they had to do something right away. Don't think our president went over there to
go watch it.
And go watch it move. I guess that's where this book was just a little too out there. Too out there for a lot of different things.
Yeah. I guess now that I'm like 5 books into like my reread, it has been interesting to kind of see his development through. Because like Sandstorm, I think, was very like traditional like adventure thriller.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't a lot else going on. You get a little bit of like the science and like a little bit of that. But then Map of Bones felt like a total Da Vinci Code ripoff. Like it felt exactly like the Da Vinci Code, like beat for beat. The weird clues they were connecting with like nothing meeting in the middle. And then Black Order, I think, is actually my favorite I've read so far. Of the 5. I've really, really enjoyed that. Judas Strain, I think like these two, like Black Order, Judas Strain is where you're really hitting his stride. And then this one, I think he tried to take it another step and it just didn't quite work as well. Yeah. Like trying to find his own kind of avenue a little bit more.
It came together at the end.
Yeah.
Again, some good bad guys. A couple of tigers were great bad guys.
The tigers were great.
That part I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm more anxious to get to the next one.
Yeah, Doomsday Key.
And reread that one.
And hopefully this one brings back Seishan. I'm always disappointed when Seishan's not in the book.
She's in the last page.
Yeah, she's in the last page.
But
he seems to go like every other book, including her. And she is like my favorite character. Oh, yeah. She's just the best. Badass. So like any book that she's not in, it's gonna dock some points from me. Yeah. Overall, it's mid as far as the rest of the series goes, but still enjoyable.
Well, the other ones are just so good.
Yeah.
And you get one that's just sort of, you know, above average, but just also you're comparing it against the best ones. So.
But as per usual, I had a good time. I'm going to keep reading them.
Oh, okay.
I think you're going to get to the next one before I am, so here you go.
Okay.
That is all. Oh, that one's yours.
This one's mine. Oh, I get to keep one?
Yeah, I got that one for you. This one's mine. It has my notes.
Oh, good.
That is all I have. Is that all you have?
That's all I have. Thank you for letting me come on.
Yes, thank you for joining me, and thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.